Hi, I'm Kim Rilleau. Welcome to my leather shop up here in Woodstock, Vermont, the Rilleau Leather Shop. This is a short little video clip that will show you how the tying pattern goes on these wonderful belts that we've designed. And I'll go right to the examples that I have. There's two basic styles, two basic designs of the Rilleau leather belts. This one that you'll see referred to right here, we call the knotted belt, and it ties in this beautiful, graceful figure eight pattern. And the other beneath it is what we refer to as the tapered belt. And this belt has two sets of slots rather than just one, and it ties in a very simple loop. Having said that, what I'd like to do now is just to show you how these both tie. Here it is, the lacing, the tying of this fabulous knotted belt that we do. As you can see, there are no buckles, which is one of the beautiful things about these great belts. The belt thong, this loose thong, travels through the slots once only. And you can see that these slots are set at an angle which encourages the thong to orient in sort of a downward pitch. And if this is the head of the belt here, then what we do is, coming from under and up, it just makes a simple loop here. And this is actually most of the way home on this knot. This is what secures it. You can adjust it for height, tension, etc. And then it follows the shape of the head and follows it underneath this thong and then underneath this. So it comes up here and then through here. And as you take up the slack, the thong stays on the top of the platform, and the excess can either be tucked under the shaft of the belt if you're wearing it with a slack or not, or it can also be left to fall. And as these are tied and untied, the leather becomes more and more supple each time. So this can be left to drape, and it becomes actually a very graceful line. So that's the secret formula for these great Rilleau knotted belts. And so here now we are, and I'll show you the lacing pattern of the Rilleau tapered belt. Once again, there is an upside in our view and an underside to these belts. Once again, all hand signed on the interior, so you'll know which way north is. The tapered belt has two sets of slots, and it ties in a really just a very simple loop fashion. So set on the waist, the thong goes through the first set of slots, arranged where on the waist or hip one wants it, and then it laces down through the horizontal slot, take up the appropriate desired amount of slack, and then it returns through the vertical slot once more. And as with a knotted belt, this extra thong can either be tucked underneath the shaft of the belt or left to drape. And as with the other, it becomes more relaxed with time. Every time that they're tied, just the malleability of the process brings this to a much more supple state. So that's the Rilleau tapered belt. And that's as simple as that. A couple of more pointers about these great belts. Because they're all cut as they have been since my folks invented these back in the 40s, they're all still cut without any pattern. They're all cut freehand in just an improvisational, sort of inspirational way, depending on how the leather, the fiber and the grain and the markings on the leather are kind of showing themselves. So what that means is that what you'll see is that in both the knotted belts and the tapered belts, some will lace in a left to right pattern and some will lace in a right to left pattern. And here's what I mean. You'll see in these two knotted belts, you'll see that this one laces and enters the slots from the right side of one's body into the left. So it laces in a right-left direction. The same knot shown here laces on the body in a left to right direction. That's not referencing whether someone happens to be a right-handed person or a left-handed person, but as I said, because it allows a more graceful, beautiful line as the leather is being cut. So you'll see again, this is a right to left lacing, this is a left to right lacing, and the same thing is true of the tapered belts. So here you'll see a tapered belt that's laced from the right to the left of the body, here left to right. And one more thing is that after these belts are used for a bit, some people, if they find that the thong, the excess, is longer than they would like to have, even when tucked under or through a loop, these can be shortened at any time by just simply even a sharp shear or scissor could do that, or you can put it on your cutting board in your kitchen and a knife will take off whatever aspect of this feels like it's too much. Remember, you can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it longer, as they told us in the carpentry trade. The little end that would be left open fibered at that point can be just made homogenized with a bit of a Sharpie pen. And then that way you can have this at whatever length suits you. There you go. Enjoy.